Hey yo, what's up? I want to warn you right off the bat that tattoos are everyone's choice and not worth judging. Some people just have normal tattoos, and some people just have ganky ones, but still, we have the right to choose what we do with our bodies. And so let's go. I myself have a tat on my body. I did it when I was 17, but I was fully convinced of it. And although it turned out not like I wanted, I still love it. Because when I went to get it, I got a very long thought, how awesome it would look on me. And when I already drived up to the place, I was 100% sure. I still do not regret anything. And all because I asked myself the question, what will be on me that I can see every day? Something that would never bore me. For you, it will remain a secret. But about the heroine of this story, I have no secrets. And given that I almost literally participated in live birth, gives me every right to discuss it all. In general, I met her on Tinder, and her name was Bonnie. And I was stunned by what she wrote first, because normally, this is what I normally write first. We talked at 1 a.m. and the next day, I asked her to hang out. The date went well. If you do not count the fact that I did not ask about anything, and she was scratching her own tongue, so God willing. I found out recently that she was doing an admissions test for another college in another country. Then why see me if you're gonna leave anyway? She said she wanted to be a journalist. And she found herself a great guy who'll earn more than her, and preferably both. Yeah, cool. I thought I was gonna split up. And then she tells me it's her birthday at 12 a.m. Damn, thanks. I had nothing better to do than look for a present that night. But still, I told her. Since I didn't know, I didn't actually have a present for her. And she asked me to help her shoot some challenge or something for her, for social media. And then her friend calls and said that she's standing in front of the door right now to congratulate her. Where the hell are you going? The friend asked Bonnie and grabbed my hand and ran as fast as she could towards the house. She didn't live too far away, but still, I almost hit the pavement a few times while we were running. And Bonnie just laughed with joy. Oh, those girls. When we arrived, the cake, champagne, and a lot of congratulations from the heart were waiting for her. And then we went up to her house, where we continued the little party, and the mother of the birthday girl joined us. The cake was eaten with champagne and was drunk. Bonnie's friend went home, and at this point I was ready to kiss her, but I just wanted her friend to leave us alone. The friend left, and I was asked to watch a movie. And we all know what that means. It was simply great. But as soon as we were alone, her mother rammed the phone with the offer to see The Last Gets Off. I guess she figured out what I was staying for. At first she was kind of annoyed, but on the third time, I got tired of it, so I decided to leave, kissed her on the cheek, and went home. A couple days later, she texted me again and offered to spend time with her while she got her 18th birthday tattoo. It wasn't her first tattoo, but the first on the front of the right thigh. I was like, oh, great excuse, then I'll drive her home afterwards and we'll do it again, without her mom interrupting. As usual, I got stoned, cleaned up, and drove to my goal. Just so you know, she wanted to do stuff with her face, some strange but beautiful woman. We later realized that she resembled Maleficent there, the movie. And then the whole session was supposed to take like 7-8 hours of tattooing. I arrived about the third hour, and she was lying on the couch and already looked like a squeezed lemon. I started laughing about how she looked, and I was glad that I wasn't in her shoes. I think I'm gonna sit with her, hold her hand, and caress her maybe. I started telling her a joke about how she starts yelling at her friend, just at the top of her throat. Her hand sharply squeezed mine, which I was suddenly frightened and stood on his feet, realizing that the show had started. The tattoo master herself was shocked, although she knew that the place where the needle machine was now passing over was quite painful. But man, not to that extent. As she screamed in pain, I wanted to cry. As one of her arms was joined by the other, Bonnie twisted my fingers at the joints like to do in Aikido, and occasionally I got a good punch from her, one to the shoulder and one to the face. After each blow, she stroked me and apologized and started all over again. For some reason, it didn't repel me, rather lured me in. She was so sweet and helpless in this state, I could not leave her alone with just this pain. At first glance, it looked like she was just being rubbed on her skin with some instrument, but if you look closely, you can see the scratches. Not too big in size, but large in numbers. And then finally, a smoke break. The master left because her back was stiff, and we ordered KFC delivery. While we were devouring our food, she received a message that she had not scored enough points and would not be able to go to the college she wanted. The tears were joined by more, and I thought, you gotta be kidding me. I'm agreeing to some unconventional date. Bonnie walked out of the building onto the street and started crying. I couldn't leave her like that. I hugged her and comforted her by telling her that the university was not the end of the world. She could get into another one and it wouldn't be a problem. But she, sniffling, denied it. The break was over. The master saw all this and suggested that I run to the store and buy something sweet. I did and highly recommended doing the same. It really works. I grabbed a Snickers, M&Ms, and a sandwich just in case, but ended up eating it myself. While our patient was eating the chocolate, I tried my best to distract her from the sad news, but I could hardly do it. She was too caught up in it, pain and so on. The master, seeing my helpless state, decided to give her his 2 cents about life and made us all burst into tears. Her future husband took her to meet her parents for the first time. While he was acquainted with her parents, their house was in the village. Everything was going fine. The table was luxurious and the guests were happy until the groom's father, having waited for a moment, offered to drink moonshine, specifically cha-cha, which he made himself. What happened next, she knows only from the words of her husband, as she has never seen his parents again. The first drink gave her a good kick in the head, and after the second, she went to the garden to get some air and then disappeared altogether. The husband began to look for her, but he could not find her anywhere, and sat behind the wheel and began to drive through all the streets and finally found her, taking away the straw from the goat and demanding to give her milk. In case you didn't know, they don't have any. Stuffed her in the car and drove her home, and while they were driving, she threw up on him twice, and the third time she decided to do it in her bra and a little in her shorts. Bonnie's mood immediately lifted and I even got a little jealous that I didn't get it that way, but it was better than nothing. But the pain in her fingers and screaming didn't stop by the end of the session, and we were both disheveled and ragged, as if we were just riding on a spinning wheel. Funny enough, she even promised several times that she would never get a tattoo again, but we know the truth. It was the 5th hour and everything she touched hurt. For my misery, she promised to treat me at a nice fancy place. I exploded, Bonnie, after this, you should freaking marry me. Because I have a feeling that we already have a child and we are parents. Given your lying position, me as the faithful husband and the master as the midwife, and the light illuminated us in the operating room. No, I didn't say that out loud, but I thought about it. In the meantime, the 6th and 7th hours flew by, and finally the job was done. She kept her promise, and after that painful surgery, we went to a sushi bar and got drunk as a pig. My favorite part of this whole story is that after a week of great talking, she flew off to another country. I was left thinking, why the hell did she have to meet me? We've been through so much and this is how you leave me? It's cruel. But there you go. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. But watch out. Bye.